Hello, friends. I am Shuvo. Today, I have brought you the story of a well-known Korean zombie movie, Train to Busan. I'm sure many of you have already seen this movie. Also, I usually don't share stories of bloody or violent films on my channel. However, this is not just an ordinary zombie movie. It has a touching story as well. Many people in Bangladesh might have already covered this story. Still, I decided to share it because many of my friends were commenting that I should tell the story of a zombie movie. So, before starting the story, let the intro play. If you want, you can subscribe in the meantime.
At the beginning of the story, we see a mini-truck driver who is sanitized with a spray and sent on his way. After driving a little further, he gets into an accident with a deer. At first glance, the deer seems dead, but strangely, after a while, it stands up again after the truck is passed. However, this time, the deer is not the same as before. Its eyes have become somewhat cloudy.
Anyway, the scene cuts to a manager of a share market company named Sak-woo. Sak-woo. Throughout the movie, we will call him Sak. He orders his junior colleague to sell all the shares of the biotech chemical company. Although his colleague presents various reasons for not selling the shares, Sak remains adamant in his decision. He calmly says, "Sell them." That day, Seok buys a gift for his daughter and heads home. Actually, Seok and his wife had divorced a few months ago, but he lived with his daughter in the same house as his mother. Today was his only daughter Suwon's birthday. When Seok presents the gift he bought for her, Suwon becomes even more upset because her father had given her the same gift before. Poor Suwon, being separated from her mother, insists on going to meet her mother today, saying she will go tomorrow. Since Seok was very busy with work, he couldn't spend much time with his daughter. Therefore, as a birthday gift, he agrees to take her to her mother in Busan the next day. As expected, the next day he sets off with his daughter towards the train station. However, on their way, they witness several accidents happening in the city. Nonetheless, thinking everything is normal, the father and daughter board the train. But just before the train departs from the station, a girl runs into the train without a ticket. This becomes their biggest nightmare for the journey. For some reason, the girl had boarded the train with several cuts on her legs. Meanwhile, shortly after the train departs, Seok falls asleep. His daughter Suwon, leaving her father, goes to the bathroom alone. By this time, the girl who had boarded the train with injuries begins to fall seriously ill. A female train attendant rushes to help her, but by now, the sick girl has transformed into a zombie. Instantly, she attacks the attendant, who also turns into a zombie in the blink of an eye.
This is how the chaos begins, with one zombie turning into two, two into four, and soon there is a frenzy in the entire carriage. Seok wakes up and, not seeing his daughter beside him, starts to look for her. Eventually, he spots Suwon in front of the bathroom and quickly takes her in his arms, fleeing to a safer carriage at the back. Hundreds of zombies follow them. However, since the door is closed, the zombies cannot get in. They can only see the people through the glass and scream. A pregnant woman in the carriage named Sung sprays water on the glass door and puts up a newspaper to prevent the zombies from banging on the door too much. Sung's husband's name is Young Sung. Now that the situation has calmed down a bit, the train conductor communicates through the radio that the train cannot actually go to Busan. Due to the horrific situation nationwide, the train will only go as far as Daegu Station, where there are many soldiers for security. So there is no need to panic. They then proceed towards Daegu Station. Meanwhile, one passenger talking on the phone learns that Daegu Station is not safe at all. Seok overhears this conversation. He then calls one of his clients to confirm that Daegu Station is indeed unsafe. Seok says, I will give you a lot of expensive shares for free. Please help us get out safely from Daegu Station. His client replies, okay, then do not exit through the main gate. Go out through the small gate on the east side. I will receive you from there. After a long journey, the train arrives at Daejeong Station. The passengers get off and see that the station is completely empty. Everyone starts to exit through the main gate. But Sekwa-woo wants to leave with his daughter through the small gate on the east side. Just then, a crazy man who overheard Sekwa-woo's phone conversation appears behind him. At that moment, a soldier approaches them from the east road. Seeking help, first the crazy man runs toward the soldiers, followed by Sekwa-woo, but they soon witness a horrific scene, as behind the army officers are many zombies. The passengers exiting through the main gate are also attacked by thousands of zombies. They all run for their lives. Many people die here. At that moment, a lone child, Suwon, is also attacked by a zombie, but just in time, Sanghwa arrives and saves Suwon. In this zombie attack, a group of school baseball players traveling with them all perish, except for one boy and his girlfriend, Kim. Now, Sekwa-woo, Sanghwa, and that high school boy bravely hold off the zombies to help the remaining passengers reach the train. The survivors rush into different carriages to save their lives. The train conductor discusses with a man named CEO that Busan is actually the only safe city where the infection has not yet spread. Thus, they set the train on course for Busan.
After much effort, Sanghwa, and the high school boy manage to catch the train. They board, and Sang calls his pregnant wife to find out that she is trapped in a bathroom in carriage 13 with Seok's daughter, Suwon. The high school boy calls his girlfriend and learns that she is safe in another carriage with several people. He tells his girlfriend Kim that they are coming to her carriage. Kim is very happy and informs the others in her carriage that her friends are coming. However, the CEO in the carriage is a very selfish man. He tells everyone on the train, "We will not let anyone from outside enter this safe carriage. What guarantee do we have that they won't fight us or infect us?" Meanwhile, Sanghwa, and the high school boy prepared to reach carriage 13. They bravely fight off all the zombies that come their way. The train then enters a tunnel, and they notice that the zombies cannot see anything in the dark carriage. They seem to have become statues. Taking advantage of the zombies' blindness, they slowly make their way to Suwon's carriage. They approach Suwon, the pregnant woman, and another elderly woman in the carriage. But just then, while trying to save the crazy man in the carriage, Seok gets spotted by the zombies. They rush into the safe carriage. But just before they can completely close the door, the zombies stick their hands, feet, and heads through, blocking the door. Sang desperately holds the door with all his strength. Seok fights against the zombies. On the other side of the carriage are the remaining healthy people, but even as the schoolboy screams for help, no one responds to his calls. No one opens the door. Instead, they hold Kim's mouth shut and reinforce the door even more. The boy keeps hitting the door with the baseball bat in his hand, trying desperately to save their lives. But by now, a zombie bites Sang, and he begins to slowly turn into a zombie right in front of his wife's eyes. However, just at the last moment, the schoolboy manages to break through the door of the other carriage. But by then, the door that Sang was holding breaks, and the zombies attack him. Yet even in his final moments, Sang holds off the zombies with all his strength, saving his unborn child and his wife's life.
Although a few of them managed to reach the safe carriage, the elderly woman who was with them and Sang dies at the hands of the zombies during this journey. Now, upon reaching the safe carriage, Seok attacks the selfish CEO. He tells him, "It's your fault that they both died. If you had opened the door earlier, they would have survived this journey." But the CEO retorts, telling everyone in the carriage, "They might be infected. Send them to another carriage.
Otherwise, they will kill us all. The remaining people in that carriage want to send the schoolboy, Seok, his daughter, Suan, Song's pregnant wife, and the crazy man to the next carriage. The schoolboy's girlfriend tells him, "I want to go with you too. Take me with you." Now they all 6 go to the next carriage. But one woman sitting in this safe carriage looks very upset. In fact, the woman who died with Sang was her own sister. This woman lost her sister because of the selfish people in this carriage. Determined to teach the selfish people a lesson, she steps forward and opens the door to the zombie-filled carriage. Instantly, a horrific massacre descends upon the selfish people. Almost everyone dies. Now the train stops. The train conductor announces through the radio that the railway line ahead is broken. This train cannot go any further. I will take another train to Busan on the left side, and those who can hear and understand me come to that left train. Meanwhile, it shows that the selfish man and a railway official had hidden in the toilet to save their lives during the chaos. But upon hearing the conductor's announcement, the man pushes the railway official into the zombies and escapes. Meanwhile, the surviving group, led by Seok, is heading towards the left train. But just then, a burning train comes speeding in and crashes into their train. Due to this collision, they all get separated. The schoolboy and his girlfriend desperately try to open a train door to go left. But suddenly, from behind, the selfish man comes running into the carriage. He pushes the schoolboy's girlfriend Kim into the zombies, and he escapes. But the schoolboy does not leave his girlfriend alone in this situation. When he tries to help his girlfriend, who is turning into a zombie, she bites his neck as well. Their journey ends here. Now the selfish man is running for his life, but he trips and falls onto the railway tracks. Seeing this, the innocent train conductor comes to help him, but after receiving a bite himself, the selfish man pushes the train conductor into the zombies and runs towards the left train. Poor train conductor dies here. On the other hand, now Seok is shown. The 4 of them are trapped in a place where a zombie-filled train is above them. With their lives on the line, Seok tries to escape with his daughter and Song's wife. But suddenly, the glass of the train above breaks, and all the zombies start falling on them. Seeing this, the crazy man sacrifices himself and allows himself to be captured by the zombies, saving the father, daughter, and the pregnant woman. The 3 of them run for their lives and manage to catch the train heading to Busan. However, the zombies do not let them go easily. Hundreds of zombies chase after them. They hang on to the train's railing together. With so many zombies together, the train's speed starts to decrease. However, Seok kicks and frees the train from the zombies.
But now, when Seok enters the train driver's room, he finds that the selfish man has turned into a zombie. A fierce fight ensues between Seok and the man. In the end, Seok manages to throw him off the train, but before falling, the man bites Seok's hand. Seeing the bite on his hand, Seok realizes that it is time for him to leave his daughter. Their journey has come this far. So he locks his daughter and Sung's wife in the train driver's room. Poor Suan does not want to leave her father at all. She wants to keep him with her, even if it means tears in her eyes. But Seok has no time left. He stands at the very end of the train, leaving his daughter behind. On one side, the heart-wrenching cries of his daughter, and on the other side, the immense pain of a father turning into a zombie. Seok remembers the first time he held his daughter in his arms, the first time he saw her adorable face. While recalling these memories, he jumps off the train, sacrificing his life to save his daughter. Now it shows that Sung's wife and Suan have reached Busan. The army had built a wall and was sitting with guns ready. Initially, they wanted to shoot them thinking they were zombies, but later they realized that they are actually humans. After losing her father, Suan was singing a song in memory of him. Hearing the song, the army takes them in as healthy people. The story roughly ends here, but if we look for who is actually responsible for the virus outbreak, we can directly blame Seok.
Yes, you heard that right. The hero of this story is Suwon's father, Seok. It is because of him that this devastation began. Because in the opening scene of the story, when Seok sells his shares, it is something he did willingly to gain excessive profit. And when Seok sells all the shares of that biotech company, the company faces a terrible loss. This company was working on a terrifying virus. Due to such a huge loss, they could not spend much on safety measures for their virus project. As a result, their virus leaks. This is what was mentioned at the beginning of the movie regarding the mini-truck driver, which is why he was sanitized. Essentially, that deer also turned into a zombie after being infected by that leaked virus. So this was the story I wanted to share. Many have already covered it. Still, I decided to share it because there are no Korean movies on my channel. Secondly, many were requesting zombie movies. So, let me know how you liked the story in the comments. I will take my leave now. Allah Hafiz.